Hello and welcome everyone. So today we got the patch 1.1.3 and we're gonna take a look at that together here. Join me. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, patch 1.1.3 is out finally. Let's check this out here. So, with this update, your loot hunt continues with 5 all new legendary quality sets awaiting discovery. That are the 5 new sets I was talking about yesterday as well as like some days ago. Those of you who are on my Discord know what's up. Explore deeper into the Shadow Realm with all new anomalies and of course enjoy a whole collection of great features and balancing. So yeah, new content to Shadow Realm. Also we get the Loyalist item pack number 2. So for those of you that don't know, there's already like a Loyalist item pack number 1, which is basically a bunch of, well, skins that you can buy while like supporting Create. It's basically a donation where you get some skins out of rent, and then this one is basically the same. So yeah, check this out. I mean, there are gonna be some quite nice like skins, like Silver Knight, Black Knight, etc. illusions that you can use for your armor. Alright, major new features. So 20 new items. So yeah, 5 legendary sets with like 4 items each. Shadow Realm has 4 twisted new anomaly levels. Coven of Ogdenburg now sells invisible helmet shoulder illusions, so you can get rid of your shoulders or headpiece now if you want to in the via the illusionist. It's a great addition for Fashion Dawn. Loyalist item pack, yeah, we talked about that. Additional totally normal objects that have been discovered in the world of Cain. So this is basically an addition to the secret quest line. So you can discover new secret items in Act 7 probably. Nice. Adjusted monster damage scaling on waves 151 plus. Oh, they're advanced in Crucible as well. And adjusted spawns on 162 and 163. I actually have no idea about Crucible, so I cannot really comment on this. I guess it's good change because there are quite a lot of people that know their shit about Crucible. So yeah, I trust those people to make the right decision, or like to push the entire to make the right decisions here. Shadow Realm, the Locorian and Fleshwork themed boss levels have been made larger. That's very nice. Like these have been very, very annoying around like shard 35 to 60. Like whenever you got Logorian and or Fleshworks boss level, yeah, you basically had like a 50-50 chance to just die because of that. Adjusted boss distribution on shard 31 to 60 range for a smoother progression. That's welcome as well. I mean, there were still like a pretty high disparity between like good RNG and lower like bad RNG on the bosses. Like you could have very hard combinations starting on shard 35 at least. Certain bosses no longer appear before shard 61. Alright. So art, this is like the best, right? I have Reckoning has alternate FX based on conversion for different like damage types. Obviously same for RF and same for Savagery. That's pretty nice. And then we have updated FX for all of these skills. I'm gonna check them out in game later. Alright, so they're doing like some tech for Xbox release, which is probably gonna come at some point this year, I guess. Be like end of this year, probably. Fix an issue where Ishtar the Mind Reaper would sometimes create more mirages than intended. Okay, I didn't know about that. Owners of AOM in the first Loyalist item pack can now consume the illusions to add them straight to your collection at the illusionist rather than having to apply them to specific items each time. That's pretty nice. This was pretty annoying, actually. So it's great they like implemented them into the Illusionist. Itemization, okay, so this is where balancing starts, right? There's already a lot I can see here. I mean, not as much as the last patch, probably. Alright, let's start here. Relic. Agrixis matters. Added 5% attack speed. Yeah, sure, why not? Annihilation, added 4% attack speed, reduced cooldown and energy cost on the granted skill. Wait, what is this even? Check. I mean, I guess it's a tier 2 relic. Oh, it's a tier 1, like tier 3. So this was a demo relic, which apparently never, like no one used ever. There's a meteor, okay. And this got what now? 5%, no, 4% attack speed, reduced cooldown of energy cost of neglected skill. So yeah, I guess this was not good enough because I've never seen it ever. Yeah, I mean, cooldown being reduced. Oh yeah, 6.5 seconds seems very high. So it doesn't really say how much it got reduced by, but this is probably maybe usable now. We will see. Bane added 5% attack speed, increased OA by 55. I have also no idea what Bane is, like which relic this is. Is it? There it is. Inquisitor relic. I've never seen this used because Inquisitors have Igniferous Combustion anyways. And I don't see that changing, to be honest. Like, unless they nerf Igniferous Combustion. Damage dealt by the skill proc. I mean, the proc still has elemental reduction though, like elemental resistance reduction though. It's probably not gonna change anything. Like, probably no one will still pick Bane and everyone will still pick Combustion, is my guess, but maybe I'm wrong here. Conflagration, increased burn damage on the granted skill. That's the fire beam, right? Yeah, that's the fire beam. So this is like the fire AR from the relic. Increased burn damage. I mean, okay. Doom added 5% cast speed. Oh yeah, that's for Force Wave, right? Or spam Force Wave, I guess. Because Doom is like the physical relic for soldiers. Yeah, so this getting casting speed is good for Force Wave. I mean, that's kind of welcome. Force Wave is a little bit underwhelming in the end game right now. Eldritch Pact increased health regen to 25 and percent health regen to 35. I think this rake was already pretty good. Didn't really need a buff, but I mean, on the other hand, HP regen is one of the weaker stats, so this doesn't really do that much, I guess. Eye of the Storm added 8% casting speed. Is it ever gonna be good? Like, gonna make a difference? I mean, obviously this one was super good for like attack speed, like lightning, like prime strike characters or like savagery characters. Hmm. I mean, yeah, it's good and it's fair to have this casting speed as well. Probably still mainly gonna be good for attack speed users, not for casting speed users. But yeah, it's nice. Valediction added 5% attack speed, increased poison duration to 80%, and increased poison retail on the grand skill. Valediction was also like a very underwhelming relic, right? Well, actually, this had a lot of flat acid damage, and that's having attack speed now as well. Um, yeah, that's pretty juicy now for witch hunters or like dervishes, actually. At least it is like it can be a contender now, maybe. Like before, was not contender because you had no +1 all skills and you had no attack speed. The flat damage alone wasn't like enough, but now you have a lot of flat damage and you have attack speed. So that's maybe enough to make it good for witch hunters. Necrosis added 5% attack speed. What is that even? No one used that ever. Wait, the skill is actually pretty good. Like the resist reduction is pretty good here. Shredek, Oblivion. I have actually also no idea what this is. Like no one used this before. So this one has added casting speed now, right? Okay, so this had attack speed, it has casting and attack speed now. I guess still no one will use it ever. Primal Instinct, increased health regen to 35. Now this was a pet relic, which was actually pretty decent already. Increasing health regen will do a little bit, but not that much. Salvation, increased health regen to 44 and percent activation chance on the skill proc to 20%. What is Salvation? There are actually so many relics, I don't know, because no one ever uses it. 20% chance on attack to restore this amount of HP. That's actually pretty decent. I mean, it's just a very defensive relic, I would say. Yeah, I mean, it's probably for the very end game, still not gonna see any use, but that said, can be pretty good for like leveling or like maybe a classes char even. I mean, that doesn't seem too bad actually. Monster infrequent Ascendant Hood added minus 0.5 target radius and 1 second duration modifiers for devastation. Ascendant Hood. I mean, that's pretty good. But the thing is, this is around elemental devastation, right? This has split damage for fire, cold, and lightning, which is not ideal. It's a nice buff, but is it gonna be good enough for like a good build? Probably not. Vargo's core has been reclassified as a scepter for purpose to affixes it can roll. Vargo's core. That's the one for pets. That's really nice. I mean, pet stuff has to be scepter or dagger, otherwise it won't, like, it will have an almost 0% chance to roll any pet stats. That's pretty good. The Lord's Vengeance increased duration modifier for Ascension to 3 seconds and added 100% Chaos Delta's fire modifier for it. That's actually pretty good, right? This had Pierce the Fire before and 2-second duration, and now it's 3-second duration. And Chaos the Fire as well. That's actually very good. Yeah, it's pretty good for example, Shield Breakers. I can see maybe a like Virtue set Shield Breaker using this, or like Paladin even. That's not bad. Next one. That's one repeater, reduce cooldown reduction modifier for Doombolt to 0.5 seconds and added modifier. I mean, you will have to do the exact math whether or not this is a nerf or a buff. I didn't play the build. Apparently, the Chaos Doombolt build was pretty decent, or even pretty good. Whether or not it's gonna nerf or buff it, I have no idea. But I mean, just check them out and it should be easy. To see. Cursed Wraith, increased percent crit damage modifier for devastation to 16%. And that's the like lightning devastation offhand, right? I mean, that's nice to see. This was not strong enough before. Maybe it's strong now, but probably. I mean, maybe it is strong enough now, actually. I don't know. Probably not. Flash Warped Incinerator reduced CR for Canister Bomb to -1 second and added 100 burn modifier for it. This was like BIS, right? For like you did Ulzuin 4-piece and then you use this for Canister Bomb build. So this is probably a nerf. Not 100% sure though, because you add more burn. Maybe it's... I guess it's not even that big of a nerf to be honest. Flash Warp Tome, reduce lightning delta's Aether modifier for AR to 30%. It's gonna nerf like the Aether Spellbinder a little bit, right? The Aether AR Spellbinder. Kovacs Burning Blade has... Thank you. Holy shit. That's so good. So like the pet defiler that died yesterday for me, he was using this and he had like a 0% chance to roll any additional pet stats for this one. So this being a dagger now would make the build better, but I mean it died already, so I'm not gonna do it again. That's, I mean, not anytime soon at least. Putrid Necklace added 45% of Aether that is acid for Blood of Drake. That's very interesting. Which one was this again? This is the one dropped by Elena, right? That's so bad at writing stuff for shit. Putrid. Oh no, it's from Primordial actually. Okay, so this was completely useless before, but now it's at least interesting. It has elemental to acid before, now it has elemental and aether to acid, right? I mean, that's good for which class exactly? Kabbalist, maybe? I mean, it's not... Yeah, it's pretty good for Kabbalist, probably. If you want to do acid Kabbalist, but I mean, you usually go for Vitality Kabbalist. I don't know. I mean, it's nice to have the conversion here, because more conversion options is always better than not having more conversion options. But I don't really see this being useful at all right now. Sandclaw Slicer, increased physical damage modifier for Blade Arc to 70. That's pretty good, Blade Arc was pretty bad. Scorpius Bludgeon, increased bleed damage modifier for Blade Arc to 66 per 3 seconds. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be nice for leveling maybe, but for endgame it's not gonna be relevant. Faction Augment, Arcane Heart Powder, added 12 fire damage and 2% OA. Okay. Arcane Heart. When was this before? Wait, this one has flat fire, percent OA. Okay, they removed the health though. Flat fire and OA. Okay. I mean, it's not as good as like the Sky Fallen or whatever it's called. What is it called again? The Lightning Augment, right? It's not gonna be as good as that one because that one has flat OA. And 2% is not 3%, so it's also worse than, say, Sky Shard. Yeah, there we go. This one had flat 75 OA and 12 lightning damage. So it's still worse than that, right? Because the 2% is also worse than, say, Sevaria's for OA, so... Yeah, I mean, it's better than before, but compared to other, like, really good ones, it's not as good, so, yeah. I don't know, maybe this we'll see play, maybe not. This one's pretty good though. Like Arcanum Dust added 35% all damage and 70 DA. Like 70 flat DA is pretty strong. Arcanum Dust. What did it give before? Arcanum Dust. Elemental resistance. And we lost % elemental damage and HP. Okay. So we have all damage and we still have those, right? So we have all damage, DA. And I close the tab, what the fuck? All damage, DA, and we have the elemental resistance, right? So that's pretty good. I would say Arcanum Dust is pretty good now, actually. Like, you should consider this whenever you make like an endgame build now. Vismius Control, what is that? They replaced OA with HP. Unless it's a pet thing, it's probably not really that good. I mean, okay, it is a pet augment, so that's pretty good. Like, pet augments don't need OA for the player. So that makes this better at least. I don't know if it's gonna be as good as Ravager's Eye, probably not, because Ravager's Eye also gives you a shit ton of DA. But I mean, it's nice to have this buffed at least. Covenant's Wit replaced % chaos damage with % armor. Okay, this is also a pet thing. That's pretty good because chaos damage and OA is pretty bad for the player. They could have removed the OA as well, or like should have removed it as well and put something else here, maybe like HP as well. Forge Fire added 15 elemental damage, removed energy regen. 15 flat is pretty good. Forge Fire. Wait, this has 15 elemental damage and 70 DA. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, that's really good. And they removed the energy regen. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, this one is pretty good now. If you need like elemental damage and DA, you're short on DA. I mean, it's probably better than the Arcanum Heart Powder, even for fire builds. I mean, 15 flat is like 5 flat fire. Maybe you have some conversion, so you have maybe a little bit more. And then 70 flat DA is more flat DA than 2% OA is for OA at least. So yeah, this one seems better than Arcanum Heart Powder, for example. Emma Powder added 10 pierce damage, removed energy regen. I think pierce didn't have any like flat values on rings and amulets before. So this one, 70 DA and 10 flat pierce is gonna be very nice, very good. Really good for like Bergothian Infiltrator / Blade Master, for example. Era's Blood added 70 DA, removed HP. There was like one Eras that was pretty good, but I think that was Era's Patience. Era's Blood is this one. Yeah, this was completely useless before, right? I mean, not completely, but... And they removed what? The HP. I mean, the DA is better for sure. Yeah, like everything with like flat DA, like 70 DA flat is really, really good. This also has resistances on top. So yeah, this is a really good augment now, actually. And you should consider this for Vitality builds, Vitality casters. Now, for sure, like Kabbalists, for example, Oppressors, they can all use this now. I mean, they don't have to, but it is a viable choice now. Steel Bloom Powder. Added 10 physical damage and 2% OA, removed energy regen and HP. Steel Bloom Powder, and this was probably never ever used. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so these were just bad stats on like ring augments, and they basically give it good stats now, 10 physical damage and 2% OA. I mean, as I said, like 2% is not really that good, like 3% is better, but 2% is not terrible either. And 10 flat physical added. I mean, it's not bad, and it is a viable choice now, I would say. Probably, for example, Ozyr's Temper is still way better, especially if you have a shadow, like a Sword of Burnished, converting the chaos to physical as well. So yeah, but I mean, if you don't have that, can't abuse it. This is like a choice now that you should consider. Typhoon Powder. Added 70 DA, removed energy. That's a straight insane buff as well. Let's take a look at it. Typhoon Powder. I mean, okay, this was really useless before. What the? But this has HP and 70 DA now. Hmm. I mean, for Pierce, it's probably gonna be a little bit worse than Hammerfall, right? Hammerfall was... Yeah, this had 70 DA as well, and this has flat Pierce now, so Hammerfall is better for that, for Pierce. And for Lightning, you have still the Sky... I always forget the name, holy shit. I just, like... I literally searched for it, like, 2 minutes ago, and I forgot it again. Sky Shard Powder, there we go. Yeah, for Lightning, that's probably gonna be better. I mean, this is OA, the other one is DA, so maybe you will need like 1 or 2 of Typhoon Powder. And also, if you cannot make use of the flat damage, so if you're a caster, for example, if you're a caster, like a Lightning caster, say a Vindicator, for example, a Wind Devil Vindicator, Typhoon Powder can actually be better because you have the DA instead of OA. Like, if you need the DA instead of the OA. If you need the OA, then this is still better. Because, like, the flat damage doesn't really matter for you if you're a caster. Okay. On to items. Currently, Fax Flame added 100% Aether to Fire modifier to AR, and minus 10% Fire Resist Reaction modifier for Thermite Mine. This is very nice, so we can have a like a real Fire AR now, probably. This seems like a viable choice now. I mean, Hex Flame was kind of going into that direction anyways already, so you had like the flat fire added, the crit damage, but then you had Chaos Resistance reaction here, which was kind of weird. And now we have Aether to Fire mod and 10% fire resistance reduction. So I mean, yeah, this is great for build diversity, and you can probably make a like... I mean, in the end, you could do like a sorcerer with this, right? But in the end, unless they like buffed Demo and nerfed Inquisitor hard on this patch, we will see that later. Like the Mage Hunter is probably gonna be better, right? The Fire Aether Ray Mage Hunter is gonna be better than the Sorcerer here. Or you could also do a Templar, right? Because like both Templar and Inquisitor or like Mage Hunter do have passive fire reduction, like fire resistance reduction, whereas Demo has to use the like very clunky Thermite Mines. But yeah, that seems good, and it's probably gonna make Fire Aether Ray viable. How good it really is, like, is it gonna be as good as Lightning or say Aether? I don't know. Probably not, because fire damage is like an inferior damage type to Lightning and Aether, but yeah, it should be viable for sure now. Mark of Burning Shadows added +3 to Dread, added 100% Pierce to Fire for Bone Harvest. This had like some Bone Harvest stuff before as well, right? Yeah, Cold to Fire, now it has Pierce to Fire on top. It's pretty nice. Or like you could do, I mean, Bone Harvest Defiler if you want to, or like Bone Harvest Apostate, I guess, or Bone Harvest Oppressor if you want to. I mean, it's probably the best for Oppressor actually. Like Oppressor, yeah, this is still weird, right? You have this Vitality and Total Speak to Vindictive Flame. Weird. So like a RF and Bone Harvest, Oppressors maybe. Replace bonus to Vindictive Flame with +3 to Agonizing Flames. Replace modifiers for Vindictive Flame with 50 Burn, Vitality Decay for Blackwater Cocktail. Alright, never mind this then. This has now Blackwater Cocktail bonuses. That's gonna make it better for Demo. I don't know. I mean, there's still this weird like Blazeheart, Justicar, Filer that you can do. For that, this seems pretty good now. I mean, it was pretty good before, but now it's a little bit better. Anyways, next one, the Overseer. Add 4% OA for pets, increased crit damage summon modifier for summon Hellhound, and summon Briarthorn to 18%, and added 100% slow resistance modifier. This is pretty good. Slow resistance, so it should. The Overseer. I mean, is it gonna be good enough or not? I have actually no idea. I mean, this is pet stuff. I have like no idea about pets, so I probably just shouldn't comment on this at all. Go ask other people for this. Like, go ask Maya or Zigatrev or Uber Elite if you want to know more about this item or this change. Action Venom Fire added +2 Agonizing Flames. That's pretty good. More bonuses to Agonizing Flames is always good for demos. This is like this weird one, right? Fire to Vitality to Blackwater Cocktail. And that's for like the Vitality Defiler. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can use this for like non-defilers, just for Necromancer. Like Necromancers in general, but yeah, I don't know about Vitality Defiler. It's a little bit weird. Like, not the best. Blaze Seer, Crest, and Girdle added fire burn damage, added % chaos damage, reversed the conversion. So the Girdle doesn't convert fire to chaos anymore, right? Blaze Seer, this is a pretty nice blue set. But before you got punished for completing it, because the Girdle actually converted fire to chaos. But like the rest of the set is more focused around fire than chaos. So now this is probably like chaos to fire. They reverted it. I reversed it, so yeah, this is chaos to fire now instead of fire to chaos, right? So this should be very nice for fire builds now, actually, like that's a 3-piece blue set. I would put this set to like up to one of the best blue sets now there is in the game. Because it's like really, really nice and has like ring, belt, and medal. Those are not like too punishing to use a set for, like those slots. I mean, this is for Blackwater Cocktail, Guardian of Empyrean, and Sigil of Consumption. I mean, the Sigil is not the best, as you all know, but it also has some bonuses to Thermite Mine, Hellfire Mine stuff, Blackwater Cocktail stuff. I mean, it's decent overall, I guess. Like for Fire Burn, I mean, you can do Sentinel, Pyromancer. It's probably the best for Pyromancers, to be honest. But yeah, if you're running like a burn build, check out those Blaze Seer set. If you have like the slots free, it's for sure better now than before. Storm Serpent set, replace bonus to Elemental Awakening, +3 to Shadow Strike. Nightfall, Shadow Strike, Nidalas. That's pretty nice. Storm Serpent was like the Lightning Trickster set, kinda. But I mean, it wasn't really good enough for that because it's a super squishy set and yeah, not that good. So what do we have now? We have like we lost Diplomatic Burst / Elemental Awakening stuff and we got Shadow Strike stuff. So this is now focusing more around the Shadow Strike as well. That's pretty nice. And I mean, yeah, more Shadow Strike options are always welcome. Shadow Strike doesn't really have that much, or like didn't really have those like very many options in the last patch. You get a new legendary set this patch, and also this blue set. Getting Shadow Strike support is pretty nice as well. Alright, non-legendary, I mean legendary non-set items. Reduced percent damage reduction on Dawn Shard procs. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it was really good. Blade Breaker set reduced Sash reduced OA to 3%. I mean, I think it was 5% before, which was pretty OP actually. Blaze Heart reclassified as a dagger. Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting. Increased attack speed, added 45% chaos to fire it, plus 2 siphon souls, wit to fire. Holy shit. Like the Defiler build I just mentioned before is getting so much better now. I might try this actually now, like this is so much better than before now. Chillheart reclassified as a dagger. Values adjusted accordingly, added 45% fire to cold. Yeah. What did Chillheart do before? What does... Okay, it has lightning to cold and fire to cold now. Oh yeah, that's for Eye of Reckoning, right? Yo, that's so good, like dual wielding these. You will convert, like with good rolls, you will convert 100% of physical, 100% of the lightning, and 100% of the cold. I mean of the fire to cold, right? So you will have pure cold Eye of Reckoning. And +1 to Inquisitor. Yeah, that's very interesting now. Like this for Paladin or Dervish seems pretty nice. Conduit of Arcane Whispers added -1 second cooldown modifier to the 2 devastation variants. That's also pretty nice. So there was Arcane Whispers, right? The acid one, I mean this is still a meme one probably, and then the cold one. I mean this is a buff for the Warlock I was playing, right? Pretty nice, pretty nice. Very welcome. Decree of Eldritch added 0.8 cooldown modifier for devastation. Alright, so Eldritch Scepter was very useless for a long time, right? Because Wrath of the Ascendant, like Wrath of the Ascendant, this one was like 90 better than Eldritch Scepter and like 99% of the time at the time. So the Rich, that's how you're right. And then we are looking for the Scepter, the purple one, the Decree, probably, right? Decree of Eldritch, this one has a mod to Devastation now, so it's pretty nice for Devastation spellbinders now, for sure. So yeah, I mean, it's very nice to see a buff to this, because Wrath of the Ascendant was always better than this, so yeah, that's pretty good. I think they should increase this though, like they should increase the value of the resistance reduction on this proc. This needs to be higher for this to be really good. Dreadknight's leg plates increase the health to 520. I guess no one cares because it's probably still gonna be a bad one. What? Increased HP to 520. And it says 566 here on average. What? Maybe that's like the minimal value? I don't know. This is like oh no, it's the non-mythical one, right? This one. Okay, I guess the mythical one will get even more HP. Yeah, it's a welcome buff because this one was useless before. Next one, Eldritch Gaze. Added 5% block chance and 15% shield damage blocked for possession. This is very interesting. This is very nice. I like this. This item very much. Chaos Blade Arc 1. And now you can also use it with a shield, so like a sentinel could use this nicely, I guess. I don't know if you're gonna use the blade arc then. I mean, obviously not because you're not a witchblade anymore then, but yeah, it's interesting. Going for that shield synergy here for possession. That's pretty nice. I think they had this on the conduit before as well, but they removed that one, so I don't know. They're putting it basically they're putting the stats from the conduit on the gaze now. That's pretty nice, but we'll see if it's gonna be good or not. Like probably not really for like the best builds, but interesting. Pheromane leg plates increase the A to 80. That is pretty nice. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I mean, these weren't that terrible. Like, you could use these actually for some specific builds. Like, very few of them, but it's a nice upgrade here. Gale Wind Threads added 70 OA. 70 OA, just like that, is also pretty nice. Nice. Oh shit, how do you read this? I mean, this was a very weak pair of boots before, so this one getting a buff is nice for sure. Mark of Urzuin added 100% lightning to fire. This obviously has the very nice synergy together with the... Where is it? Well, the fire AR dagger, you know? I don't find it anymore, but... I mean, you probably know which one I'm talking about. Oh, holy shit. Hex Flame, here it is. Yeah, this has like super good synergy with Hex Flame for fire Aether Race, so you just need Hex Flame and the metal, and then you're like free to use anything else you want, right? You're converting Aether to fire here and lighting to fire by the metal. Boom, you have 100% fire ray. Albrecht's fire ray, basically. Mythical Aether Reach, reduce cooldown reduction modifier for Rip Spirit to -1. Okay, that's basically a nerf to the like Diviner set pet build, I guess. Or like to Diviner's builds in general. Amotok Step, added 4% Physicalness. Those are boots, right? Yeah, wait, they have physical resistance now. That's interesting. That's very good. Like, these are pretty good now. At least better than before, obviously. That's... Physical and boots is very insane, actually. Underoath's Amplifier, increased fire damage to Color Store. Yeah, I think Color Store was pretty weak the last patch, so this is welcome. Arcanum Frigus, increased cold damage modifier for Devastation to 80. It's also welcome. Water of Chaos, increased damage reduction on the granted skill. What is that even? Avatar of Chaos. Okay, this one. Reduce target's damage. Okay, so this is gonna be a higher value here. Doesn't say how much, but it's pretty good. I mean, that's sad. What is this for? Like, this is for Chaos Cadence, I guess. Like, you use this together with Void Steel Gauntlets for Chaos Cadence. Play, what, Tactician? Or Commando, maybe? I don't know. Maybe also Witchblade. Yeah. Bladebreaker's Sash, yeah, we talked about this for, like, on the non-mythical version. Mythical Bloodsong, reduced bleed damage modifiers. Yeah, okay, that's was the strongest one-hander for bleed damage before, so this getting nerfed is not really that surprising. Maybe it's still good. I don't know. I mean, there are some other one-handers that are also pretty good for bleed though. Mythical Boots of Primordial Rage. What are those even? Oh, these, they were pretty bad, right? Was the HP gonna do it for them? I don't know. Probably not. Codex of Violent Rifts. Reduced cooldown modifier for Doombolt. This was for Chaos Doombolt, so I guess Chaos Doombolt was too OP. So this is getting nerfed. Court of Violent Decay increased OH80, added +2 Termite Mines and +2 Hellfire. Oh, this one. Okay. So yeah, it's getting support for Aether Sork now. Okay. I mean, support for a sorcerer is pretty good. Like, sorcerer is in a very weak spot right now, I would say. So yeah, it's pretty good. Decree of this, like, it's nice to have this buff. Decree of the Circle of 5, increased damage on the granted skill. This is like the Boneland skill, right? It's nice. Increased HP to 800 and added 4% Fizz. Okay, so this, like, also the Fizz edition, actually gonna make this pretty nice, right? Like I was saying before that this one was very bad and very underused. The Fizz at 800 HP might actually make this usable now. You can use it for DKs, for example. It's like a yeah, any kind of DK actually. I mostly like shield DK, like Krieg shield DK, for example, is gonna benefit from this. You can also use it for Warlord actually. If you don't want to use, like, if you want a more defensive choice instead of like Barbaros pants, you can use these. Essence of the Grim Dawn, reduce cooldown on the skill proc. Okay. I mean, Essence of the Grim Dawn was used for AAR, right? For Aether Ray. Especially for Aether Ray. So it has this proc. Yeah, I guess. This doesn't really matter that much, right? It's one hit. Oh, reduce the cooldown. Oh, that's 8 seconds? Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, that's like a small buff, but doesn't really matter that much, I would say. Flames of Wrath added 15% Aether Res modifier for Guardians of Empyrean. That is interesting. Aether RR to Oro Senjor. And Guardians of Empyrean, right? So yeah, this is for like I mean, I don't know what you want to do with Aether Paladin, but if you want to do Aether Paladin, this is very good for that. You could do like Aether Spin to Win Paladin, right? Like you don't. Okay, I mean this is gonna block the conduit slot, but you get 25% Aether to like fire to Aether conversion here as well. Yeah, if I would like if I were to try a Aether Spin to Win Paladin now, if I want to make Paladin instead of Oppressor, I would use this for that one for sure. And also you can use it for. I mean, you could use it for Oppressors as well, right? Yeah, maybe I should just use it for my Oppressor as well. I mean, this also gives you +3 to Spectral Wrath, that's pretty good. Hmm. Out of the Sand King. Increased bleed damage for pets, that's pretty nice. Bleeding pets were pretty nice, but like underwhelming compared to other types of pets, right? A little bit. So Uber Elite's gonna like this very much. I mean, they were really not really that underwhelming compared to like other builds, but compared to like really strong other pet builds, at least it was a little bit underwhelming. With the Life Giver Signet, reduced cooldown of the proc. Life Giver Signet was like it's a very defensive one, right? For life steal, etc. Life Taker requires a melee weapon, chance on attack. I mean, it's probably gonna be like whatever. It's still gonna be the same role where it's like very good for, especially for new players, when they need like a very defensive option in rings. You can go for this one. Otherwise, it's not gonna be good enough. Maw of Despair added 40 Aether damage to Khalidar's Tempest and -1 second CDR for a Warcry. Remove chance of damage reduction modifier for Khalidar's Tempest. Yeah, you don't need this if you have Warcry. But the using Warcry means you're going for a Battle Mage, right? Aether Battle Mage with Maw of Despair. Khalidar's Tempest Battle Mage, I don't know about that. Like, Aether Battle Mage needs more than this to be good. I mean, this is still just gonna be used for, like, Aether Spellbinders, for example. You're going for Khalidar's Tempest, they can use this if they want to. Mythical Murmur's Kiss, increased the A to 80. That was like a bird, right? Yeah, this one, I mean, it's actually not a bad build. And getting more DA on this is pretty nice. Knight's Embrace, reduced pierce damage to 12 to 15 and reduced percent cold pierce resistance and the granted skill to 15. This was super OP for like mostly cold builds right now. And that was pretty good for pierce builds as well, like Night Blades, all kinds of Night Blades. But yeah, that's getting nerfed is pretty nice because it was limiting build variety a lot, or like item variety in that specific slot. Pack of Treacherous Means, bonus is redesigned, now also enables the ability to dual wield weapons without mastery skills. Yeah, that's nice. This is like the piercing damage build. So this will enable dual wielding as well now. And since it doesn't like specify, I guess that's melee and ranged at the same time. So you can use this for melee or for ranged. When do you need this though? Like whenever you're not using an Inquisitor or a Nightblade. Pierce without Inquisitor or Nightblade. I don't know about that. It's probably not gonna do anything, actually. Like a change is not gonna do that much for you. Mythical Reckerjax now deals lightning damage. Values adjusted accordingly. Added -10% lightning resist modifier for Stormbox of Agoloth. This is very welcome. Like Reckerjax had a lot of physical damage before, and I mean, you were struggling to convert all of the physical to lightning. You had 45 conversion on this one, then you had like maybe 10% from your component, maybe 10% from something else, maybe the amulet. But overall, you were losing so much damage here, and also like losing damage to the pierce, to the armor piercing here. So they would probably like lower the values and make this deal flat lightning, and that's it. I like this change very much. I don't really like the struggle for conversion. Like this will just skimp your build. And yeah, I mean that's gonna be the best weapon for like electrocute Primal Strike, I would say. Like not Thunderous Strike, but Primal Strike with a cooldown. And then you use Vindicator as a class, so Inquisitor as a secondary, Stormbox, and yeah, you have the resistance reduction on top, right? Alright. Mythic Sash of the Bloodlord, added +3 Infernal Purge. This is for like Ignafar stuff. Yeah, Ignafar stuff. Sign of Noxious Wounds. Now this is an interesting weapon which didn't see any play yet, but maybe they can make it work now. Added 90 poison for 3 seconds and 100% cold to acid execution. Added 90 poison damage modifier for Necrotic Edge. Okay, so that seems very interesting for like a Death Guard Reaper as like your secondary weapon instead of like dual wielding Death Guard blades. Could maybe use one of these. But I mean, then again, yeah, you can probably use it for what I just said. Like you can try it for that, or like witch hunters can use this as well, right? Like it's also pretty good for witch hunters now because you have aspect of the guardian here as well. That's like a spell you're gonna use in occultists for sure. I mean, you're not gonna use it for dervishes, right? Because you're not gonna use a shield and use execution at the same time. So yeah, either for acid poison reapers, death guard reapers, or for witch hunters. I would say this is a buff or like another option now. Screams of the Aether, replace Terrify on the skill proc with Confuse. Yeah, they probably just forgot to do this on the last patch when they got rid of Terrify. Serenier's Commendation, increase the A to 98 and replace Elemental Retaliation with 450 Fire Retail. Added % retail damage to the skill proc. This was all metal, right? Yeah, this one. I mean, I've never used this. I have like no idea what this is good for. I guess it's for like fire retaliation though. So maybe it has found its place now. I hope. Shadow Flame Metal increased Aether damage that as chaos to 30%, added +2 Fabric of Reality. Oh, this one. This one was very underused before, and that's probably gonna stay that way. I don't see this changing anything. There's like a 5% buff here, and this is what? +2 Fabric of Reality. I have no idea why you would use that. Like, yeah, why you would use Arcanist for this. I mean, maybe there's a build that I don't know. Spellbreaker's Waste Guard added 50%. Wait, what? Spellbreakers added 50% acid dealt as pierce. Wait, Spellbreakers is a cold build, right? Maybe this like fucks up acid to cold conversion actually. Maybe this is like more of a nerf actually. Added acid to pierce. That's so weird. Maybe it's because of the Phantasmal Blade stuff in here. I mean, this is interesting and weird at the same time. Mythical Spell Drinker. Increase cooldown reduction modifier for Mirror of Erectus to -1.3. -1.3, that's very interesting value. Was -1 second before, now it's -1.3. So they were very careful about that. Not giving us too much. CDR. When do you use this? I think there was like one build I saw when you use this. But I don't really know which one it was actually. Okay, like a small buff. Okay, Storm Heart. Okay, all the hearts are daggers now. Values adjusted accordingly. Added 45 Chaos to Lightning and 45 Fire to Lightning. Increased attack speed to 16, removed crit damage. Oh shit, that's a lot of changes actually. What is... Let me check Storm Heart again here. Typical Storm Heart. So you had... So this is about Lightning Fire Strike. Like, Chaos Conversion is about Lightning Fire Strike, right? Because Fire Strike does have Chaos damage. And then Fire dealt to Lightning overall. I mean, this is converting 100% Fire to Lightning to Fire Strike anyways. So the Fire conversion doesn't really do that much, I guess, unless you want to use it for something else. Like, this thing was only good for Cadence and Fire Strike, right? Because for other Lightning stuff, Crystallum is actually better. I mean, yeah, if you want to play Lightning Elementalist, Fire Strike Elementalist, this is still your weapon. And the Chaos to Lightning conversion will help you out a little bit. And also it has more, yeah, it was very low in attack speed before, so yeah. This one having more attack speed now was very good. Also for the cadence, actually. So the cadence was for tacticians, probably. Right? You go like tactician with this. Or a warder. Tactician or warder. And yeah, I mean, no manual played a two-handed lightning cadence warder. That was pretty decent. So this one should be good for a warder and or tactician as well. And better than before, for sure. Because it has like more attack speed now. And yeah, as I said, like the Lightning Elementalist or like Lightning Purifier using Fire Strike, if you want to do that, you can do that. Maybe Fire Strike got buffed for like one-handers now. You will check that later. Like for melee weapons, one-handers at least. It's pretty good for range, but it's not that good for melee right now. Thread of Mortality, increased HP regen to 33. Okay, I mean, whatever. Added +2 Vindictive Flame and Mark Drogon's Pact. This is like the regen amulet now, as well as the lifesteal amulet. I mean, yeah, it's similar to Lifegiver's Signet, a very defensive, regen-orientated amulet. Very good for new players that want to have like a bunch of resistances and like defensive stuff, regeneration stuff. Very good for those people for sure. Or like min-maxing, it's probably not, nah, it's probably still not good enough. I mean, the plus max all rest of Vitality and Chaos is actually huge though. Like, this is very good. It's like the best thing about this. Time Warped Walkers, increase slow resistance to 40%, physical resistance to 4%, and added +2 Hellfire Mine. Time Warped Walkers. It was one of those items that were never used before. And that's 1% more Phys res. And slow resistance 40% instead of 30%. I mean, that's welcome. Very welcome for sure. What was it again? Hellfire Mine, right? So for like Aether Chaos demos. I mean, Spectre Wrath and Hellfire Mine, so you could maybe use this for like Aether Defilers. And I mean, the slow and physical resistance is pretty good. Like, those are good stats. But it doesn't have any HP on it. And only 1k armor, so it's still a little squishy. And the proc is, I mean, I have no idea. Is this good? Maybe. No, it's probably trash. Tome of Arcane Wastes. Added all resistance reduction to the granted skill. Wait, that's the elemental aether ray, right? Yeah, obliteration. So this is a elemental slash electrocute ray ability, which has resistance reaction on the skill now. That's interesting. I mean, yeah, it's gonna help out the devotion, like it's gonna help out the devotion path of the build that's gonna use this, but the damage is always gonna be a little bit lower than say on AR. So yeah, it's nice, but for min-maxing, not really interesting probably. Tome of Atonement, increase fire damage modifier to Calastor. Oh, I was looking at this yesterday actually. And this is a very interesting offhand for example, Deceivers or Pyromancers or Purifiers, right? And I mean, yeah, Calastor needs a buff, so having more damage from the offhand for Calastor is pretty good. Wizard's Torment added 12 flat fire damage. That's the bird, right? Yeah, that's gonna be very good for ranged guys, melee guys, all the fire people. I mean, fire damage is in need of a buff, so that's pretty nice. White Walker's footpads increase the A to 60. White Walker's is also like a very underused pair of boots. So it has 26 more DA now. Pretty good. Mythical Will of the Blade added +1 Nightblade. This just became good. Like, this was interesting before, and now it's really good. It means for Pierce stuff, Pierce Blade Spirit, Pierce Bagothian Shears. You can probably use this now. For Blade Spirit builds, you should use this probably now. If you want to do like Pierce Blade Spirit. And for non-Blade Spirit builds, for example, the Bagothian builds, right? There's still like the other amulet that got nerfed. But this one definitely became better than before. So this is at least an option now. Viable option even maybe. Oh, replace Ring of Steel proc with new proc. Remove bonuses to Bagothian Shears, remove skill modifiers. They removed all the skill modifiers. Okay, never mind. Replace Ring of Steel proc with a new proc. Oh, that's the non-mythical one. What? Okay, they removed this proc on the non-mythical one. A new proc, whatever that is. Remove bonuses. So this is gone. All of this is gone, right? And this is gone. And it has +1 Nightblade, and it has a new skill. Whatever that skill is, no one knows. Or like a proc. Okay, I mean, I have to see what the proc is, otherwise I cannot comment on this. Mythical Wind Shearer Greaves, reduce cooldown on the skill proc and increase the A to 85. Yo, that's pretty good. I mean, these are decent before as well. I mean, they were pretty good. Shear. Greaves. And chance one hit. I mean, the cooldown was pretty high, but having lower cooldown now is pretty nice. Increase the A to 85. 35 more DA. But that's, I mean, this was pretty good for like Bergothian builds before already. And yeah, seems pretty good. Some nice, like, we have some buffs for fire and pierce damage for sure overall. Outcast Secret, reduce CDR mod for 2 -2, and reduce damage on the skip rock. Alright, so they nerfed the best devastation item. This one. But they buffed like all the other devastation stuff, so I guess it's fine. This one was just too, like, this one was very bad for build diversity because it was too strong and the other stuff was too bad, and now this got nerfed and the other stuff got buffed, so in the end it should be good for build diversity, I guess so. Yeah, fine. Pack of Treacherous means this is gonna nerf my Warlock, by the way, but oh well. Pack of Treacherous means bonus is redesigned now, also enables the ability to dual wield weapons without mastery skills. Oh, that's the same one we had before, right? Just the non-mythical versions. We had these as well. Comes to like mythical versions. Increase the 8 to 70, increase damage on the skill proc. Pretty nice. These were used for like Wind Devil builds for the pluses to Maelstrom only. So I guess Wind Devil builds got a little bit buffed with this. But I mean, that's probably fine. Like, this is not that big of a deal. The Grey Knight. This item was completely useless before. Replace bonuses to internal trauma with +4 force wave. Replace force wave modifiers with 50% damage modifier and +1 cooldown modifiers for it. That's interesting. I mean, if you're going to go like full force wave, obviously Octavia's set is going to be better still. But if you maybe want to use force wave as like your secondary skill, you could use this. Tome of Arcane Waste, that we had this before. Wood of the Raid, we had this before. Okay. Legendary set items. Okay, here we go. Holy shit. Alagast Masterpiece set, increased Aether damage modifiers to Stonebox to 200. Okay. So they're going for like the thing that works for them, right? Which is like Stonebox Alagast. Like Throws and Sky Shard doesn't work, so they're going for Stonebox. Aerosmith Destroyer set, reduce city like cooldown modifier for canister bomb to -1.5. Aerosmith was super strong on the last patch, so using, which one is it? Oh, it's just a set, right? So this was -2.5, now it's down to -1.5. I guess that's fine. Aerosmith Salvo, increase lightning damage modifier for cancel bomb to 90. Okay, that's got increased though, so and it was what before? 80. That's like 10 more. And this overall it's a small nerf. But I guess it's fine. Black Scourge Covenant. Increased health bonus. I mean, it's basically mostly the Grenado build anyways, not so much a canister bomb. Like canister bomb is like a secondary damage here. Increased health bonus to 1k. Added 80 chaos damage modifier for sigil and removed and moved the fire dial to chaos mod to the offhand. Okay. Black Scourge Covenant. So this one was on the 4-piece before, and now it's on the offhand only. So you can just go for like Chaos Sigil with the offhand only. You don't have to go for like the full set anymore. Like, you're only gonna get the duration from the full set, but that's not that important, I guess. So if you wanna do like a Sigil build, like a Chaos Sigil build now, you have like more freedom. Your choice, at least. Increased also lifesteal to 10%, added 100% fire to chaos. Yeah, this was like the movement. Increased fire to chaos to 45%, increased chaos mod to AR and flings of Ignifro to 80, added 100% fire to chaos to AR. That's pretty good. Chaos AR was a lot worse than Aether and Lighting in the last patch, so this will hopefully put chaos up there. Like, you can probably use it without the transmitter now, right? You got fire to chaos here. And you just have to convert the lightning to... I mean, no, never mind. You need the transmitter for the Aether conversion, right? Yeah, okay. No, you're gonna use the transmitter for the Aether to chaos and the lightning to Wit, and then you have fire to chaos from the blade. Meaning you will still have lightning to Wit, which kinda reduces your damage a little bit. But maybe this like modifier makes up for that. It's gonna be better for sure than before. Yeah, Bloodlord's Hood added 18 fire and 18 wit damage to Blackwater Cocktail. Okay. Yeah, like Bloodlord's supposed to be a demo set as well, right? But it's so bad for demo. They have to give it something here. So this is a start. The Gallant's Destruction, yeah, was not good enough in my opinion before, so they're gonna increase the damage here. Reduce fire mod to 20 though. Wait, what? Or resist reduction modifier to 24. This doesn't matter if you have Elemental Storm, and I mean you're gonna use Elemental Storm anyways. The Gallant set. And I mean they're pushing more towards the dual damage of the set than like making the single fire or like single lightning. Oh well, I don't know if I like this. But it seems like a small buff at least. If you just go like 4-piece the Gallants, it seems like a buff for sure. Death Guard set, yeah, hell yeah. Give us some more like good stuff, please. Replace bonus to execution with +3 Shadow Strike. Okay, that's gonna be Shadow Strike now. And it's 15% crit and 100% pierce to acid to Shadow Strike. That's interesting. Very nice, actually. It's for the set, right? So the set had this before, and only bonuses to Bone Harvest, so it was a little bit underwhelming overall, I would say. And now it will lose execution stuff, which is fine, I guess. If you want to go execution, you could go for the other sword I showed you before. 100% pierce to acid, Shadow Strike. So yeah, it's gonna be more of a dot build now than before even. I mean, it was better for dot before than it was for flat acid anyways, so yeah, this will be like Bone Harvest, Shadow Strike, Poison, Reaper. That's pretty good. Maybe I actually play this, like I like this set a lot. What is this? Death Mark. But the set didn't give didn't get anything besides that, right? It's just a change from like default attacks procs like WPS towards Shadow Strike stuff. I like that more than how it was before, but the set is still missing like either a like resistance reduction proc or something like Necromancer doesn't have any poison resistance reduction, right? So for poison acid resistance reduction you need something from the set, right? Death Guard Mantle replaced bonus to execution with +2 to Shadow Strike. Yeah, that's Death Guard stuff. Death Marks Shadows set. This one was pretty OP. Hopefully it's got nerfed a little bit. Reduce projectile deflection to 15%. Reduce pierce code resistance reduction on the granted skill to 15. Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Removed percent bonus to humans. Reduced cold damage to 10. Diviner's vision set. Probably got nerfed as well. Yeah, Reap Spirit pets, or like Diviner's Reap Spirit got nerfed. Death Mark got nerfed a little bit, that's fine. Iskandra's Unification. Increased weapon damage modifier on Chosen Skyshot to 40%. Increases its chance of cooldown reset modifier to 20% and its energy regen modifier to 20%. Like any energy cost reduction modifier to 20%. Iskandra's was pretty shit before. And this is a buff to like every possible stat of the 4-piece bonus. I mean 5-piece bonus actually. I mean, yeah, seems good. Hopefully it's good enough now. Light's Guardian stat. Increase lightning damage for Stormbox of Elgoloth to 200. Another like Stormbox buff. But this got... Okay. So Defender Gauntlets are worse for this, and the set is better for this now. So I guess it's more or less the same now. But it's it's trying to make you use this full set more than before. Against Pride. Added 1.5 explosion radius for Panettis. That's pretty nice. I like this. This is a cool change. That's I think Ludwigans needs a little bit more probably. Not sure, like for druids at least. But it's a nice start for sure. Uzuin's Flame Spreader reduced fire damage. Yeah, Uzuin's probably gets nerfed a little bit here because it was very, very strong. Yeah, so it's like more oriented towards burn and less about the flat fire, which it's supposed to be. Razen's Torment, reduced energy cost on the granted skill, increased chaos resistance reduction modifier for COF to 15%. But they reduced it on the gem to 10%. So they're again like switching around power from single pieces to like the full set bonus. I don't know if I like this change. Razen's was already like a little bit worse than the other Nightblade sets, or like... I mean, this is mostly like a Witch Hunter set, right? So... I don't know. I think they could have just increased this and keep this at 15 as well, it would be fine. The Clairvoyant's Focus set added 150 Aether damage modifier to Doombolt and Reap Spirit, increased their chance of cooldown reset modifiers to 20%. Alright, so Clairvoyance, Doombolt, and Reap Spirit got buffed. That's pretty nice. Added Fumble to Aether Ray. Okay, that's pretty good as well, actually. Reduced cooldown modifier for Doombolt. Reduced cooldown modifier for Doombolt to minus 0.5. I don't like that much. Pretty nice to do like dual wielding Clairvoyant Scepter and having like Doombolt spam. Now it's kind of scuffed now, right? Voyant. I think you had like 1 second before, now it's like only 0.5. That's actually like a lot that you lose there. Yeah, it was minus 1 second before. Yeah, you lose like a whole second here. That's a lot of DPS I lost it. Oh well. This is like the non-mythical Dreadknight, right? This is Mage Slayer set, increased energy regen bonus to 4.0 and added 110 OA. That's nice for this set, right? So that's nice for like Fire Ignifier, for example, or Cold Ignifier, whatever you want to go for. Spell Scourge set added 10% attack speed. Like Spell Scourge was so terrible. They buffed it like 3 or 4 times in a row now, and it's still not good. Maybe it's good this time. Attack speed to overguard. And I want to make it like spam Blade Arc while using Devastation, right? Yeah. I mean, yeah, hopefully it's better now. The Wildblade Pact set removes modifiers for RF. Wait, Wildblade was the mythical Venom Blade one, right? They removed the bonuses to RF. Okay. I mean, this was a very strong set. This is a very strong nerf, I would say. So overall, I guess it's fine to do this. Yeah, it should be fine. Ouroboros guy said increased vitality. Yes. 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 Aether Drain Essence is finally viable. Aether Drain Essence hype. Baldur's Betrayal set added 50% elemental to Pierce. I mean, that's also pretty good, yes. Saving Light to Temper. Okay, I guess. Does like Temper give you flat Pierce as well? It's only physical, right? But you get percent Pierce at least. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I like the Valdun's changes here. Yeah, that's more damage. Good. Valgor's Hunger set. Added 25 elemental resistance, added 25 chaos to vitality. Oh yeah, this is the conversion that was lost from the Rift gloves, whatever they were called again. And find them here easier, I would say. Vitality damage. Virtuous Light set added 0.4 second cooldown modifier for Aegis of Menhir and removed its fire damage modifier. I think they could just add this and it would be fine. Why do they need to like nerf it while buffing it at the same time? Like Virtuous set got a little bit over nerfed on the last patch, I would say. And could be fine now to like just buff it a little bit. So yeah, this Valgor's Touch now has the conversion that the Rift Warped Grasp had before. This one had like Chaos to Vitality conversion before, and now it's on Valgor's set. That makes sense. I mean, Valgor's is a Vitality set anyways, and yeah, I think that's a good decision here. Valgor's is like the Vitality Ritualist set, right? Like Vitality Caster Ritualist. Alright. Players getting pets are now unsummoned when swapping out equipment that modifies them. Alright. That was like, there was like a bug where you could make Guardians of Empyrean stronger, for example, with gear and then swapping back, and you would still have like strong Guardians. And because they're immortal, they would stay strong like for the rest of the game or like for the rest of the session. So, alright, let's check out the devotion changes here. So first off, we have Abomination increase HP to 500. Before this game was like 150 here and 150 here, so I guess these two nodes got buffed to 250 each. The Kraken added 4% physical resistance. That's gonna help two-handed builds a little bit for sure. That's very nice. And reduced all damage to 120. This was how much before? 50 here, 70 here. That's 120 already. 50 here, so yeah, I guess they remove like 50% maybe here, for example, and put 4% physical resistance here instead. I mean, overall, I would say that's a buff, for sure, for two-hander. Typhus added 50% stun / convert resistance for pets. I guess that's good. Is it good enough to like actually use this for pets now? Maybe. I have no idea about this, so yeah. And also it's for pets, so I have no idea about pets as well. Abominable Might now activates on attack rather than on kill. Values adjusted accordingly. Replace percent HP with percent regen. Yeah, so a lot of people were saying this is trash, including me, because it's 100% chance on death instead of like on attack. And now you have this on attack, so it's gonna be usable against bosses that don't spawn any like small ads. I mean, you're gonna lose the 25% HP, which was actually huge before, but I mean, that's probably fine, and we will have like less chaos damage here, I guess. Whether or not this is like good enough to take now, I don't really know. Because not only the proc itself was like the proc activation was the problem for chaos builds. It's also like the affinity requirement, right? Because for chaos you always wanna go for dying out kinda. I mean you can go like 8 reds, 15 greens, and 18 greens now, right? 18 greens is very offensive though. I mean, you should probably try it out at least. It should be not that bad. I mean, it should be better than before, like more usable than before, I guess. But yeah. Whether or not it's actually gonna be good enough or not, I don't really know. End of Ultos reduced percent elemental resist reduction to 20%, so that's like the same as Viper now. Had 25% reduction before, now it's 20%, so it's exactly the same as Viper. So as long as you're using like either default attacking or you're using skills that have at least 100% weapon damage, Viper is as good as Ultos now. I mean, the nodes are still pretty good in Ultos though, so it's a needed nerf, yes, but people will probably still pick Ultos. Living Shadow. Shadows are now invincible and no longer collide with enemies. That's pretty good. I didn't even know that wasn't the case already. So yeah, that's a welcome change. Soldier Blade Arc increased base percent weapon damage to 60%. What was it before? Let's see. That was 50%, so we had like to have like 10% more of the in level 1 here. With rank to 165. So 15% more here. And then we had 190 here before, and then 05 before. So it's mainly a buff to the lower levels, but even for max range, it's max level, it's 205% instead of 190% weapon damage. That's pretty good. Laceration, increased physical damage scaling with rank, particularly at ultimate ranks. So yeah, for like spam Blade Arc, you wanna max, you wanna try to hard cap Laceration now even more than before, especially for one-handed Laceration or like one-handed Blade Arc. Clean Sweep, increased percent weapon damage penalty to 25%. Okay. Yeah, this basically reduces the increase that this one gets reduced here. So the spam Blade Arc got buffed again, and the cooldown Blade Arc stays the same as before. That's the right way to approach this, I would say. Zolhan's technique, increased trauma damage. That's like a small buff to like Avenger set builds, I would say. Canister Bomb reduced cooldown to 4.5. Alright, so that's why all the other items had less cooldown reduction to Canister Bomb right now, right? This is 6 seconds skill recharge right now. And it's 4.5 now, so that's the 1.5 seconds that like all the other stuff lost, kinda, so okay. So all the other Canister Bomb stuff wasn't a nerf actually, it was just trying to either stay the same or it's a buff. And this is like a buff to Canister Bomb overall, I would say. Aspect of the Guardian, increased damage bonus scaling with rank to 72%. Okay, this was 50 before, it's now 72%. And 142% at max ultimate rank. 110 before, okay, that's like a small buff. Increase physical resistance scaling to ultimate ranks. Okay, that's 3% more. I mean, yeah, this was soft cap always for like every build. Now ultimate ranks are more interesting than before. That's, I would say, pretty good. Because this was like a soft cap only before. Doombolt added crit damage, removed current life damage. That's also very nice. Reduce cooldown to 4. Okay. So all the other like Doombolt stuff I was talking about before as well. Doesn't really matter that much because this got reduced by 1.5 seconds anyway. So yeah, the other Doombolt stuff is just nerfed to like not make it too OP. So Nightblade. So overall Doombolt is, I would say, a little bit better than before. Nightblade, Amarys's Blade Burst has new visual, yes. Weight of Shadow increased OA reduction and speed reduction at ultimate ranks. Okay, yeah, Weight of Shadow was a pretty no-brainer to soft cap only before as well. 12 OA minus here, for example, and then only 5. So this will scale up more. At minus 180 before, and now it's minus 210, right? You need that effective DA, you can put more points here now if you want to. Arcanist, Disintegration increased crit damage. 55 respectively, 75. But it's 5% more crit here, 5% more crit there. It's a small buff to AR. Distortion increased fire damage scaling with rank. What is Distortion again? Oh, that's this one. Damage scaling, okay. Like the percent stuff here. That's like a small buff. True charge, increased elemental damage with rank. Increased crit damage by 4%. So another like, these are small penalties buffs. Pretty nice. Inferno, increased burn damage scaling with rank. Added lightning damage. I mean, this was useless anyways. This was completely useless. Added lightning damage, increased burn damage. Holy shit, this is very interesting. Inferno is very interesting now. This has lightning damage now as well. Okay. Do like lightning killer does Tempest, I guess, somehow. That is super interesting. Inner Focus, increased OA scaling with rank to 12 by 12. Wait, where's Inner Focus? Oh yeah, this one. So yeah, it was 10 at 12, now it's 12 at 12. This was pretty good already. So basically, Arcanum gets more OA for free. Good. Removed Fizz dealt as elemental has been moved to the transmitter. This is very good for battle mages, finally. Physical battle mages don't get fucked over by Iskandros anymore. Manifestation added 30% of physical dealt as elemental for the player. This is this one, right? Okay, it's pretty good. Frozen Sky Shard increased explosion radius by 0.2. I mean, that's good. Added speed reduction to Frozen Core. That's nice as well. Increased chance of lightning damage by rank. So yeah, I mean, overall you have AR buffs, PRM buffs, Frozen Sky Shard buffs, and a buff to battle mage, like physical battle mages. Overall, I would say that's very welcome. And yeah, it's gonna be very nice for Arcanist builds. Arcanist was a little bit weak in the last patch. I guess like the weakest class actually, together with Demo. And more free OA. This is very interesting for like new builds, essentially. Shaman, Embroidering Presence, increased physical resist scaling at ultimate ranks to 18. More Fizz Rest for Pet Shaman builds, holy shit. That's pretty good. Reduce Lightning to Maelstrom again. A nerf for Vindicators, so like Wind Devil builds. Primary Strike, increased weapon damage scaling with rank to 260 and 320. Primary Strike buffs, okay. Here we go, Primary Strike. So, I mean, okay, that's like 10%, right? And yeah, and 20% here. Oh, it's a small buff. That's pretty decent. Increased weapon damage penalty to -85% though. So that's basically no buff for spam Promise Strike. Or like a 10% buff, I guess, here. Yeah, it's like a 10% buff for hard capped spam. And like more of a buff for non-spam. Which is also very good. But like spam was way better than non-spam. Stormcaller's Pact increases chance of percent lightning damage scaling with rank. Added stun resist. Wait, what? Stun resistance to this? Okay. That's huge. Now this is very nice. Very welcome. Stormcaller's Pact is so good now. It's gonna make the choice for Vindicators even more painful to go either Stormcaller's Pact or Order of Censure, right? Inquisitor bursting around increases this, increase that. So basically Gunslinger Inquisitor got buffed, that's nice. And Gunslingers do need a buff. Flames of Ignafar increased. Yeah, Ignafar needs a buff as well. This is Ignafar stuff. Added physical damage. Horn of Gander is really, really fucking good now. Like, you can use Horn of Gander instead of Aura of Censure now, actually. For so many builds. Like, this is all reduction to target damage, right? But this is gonna be like elemental and physical now, which is like 90% of the important damage that you take. Horn of Gander is gonna be so good now. Holy shit. Like, every build is trying to soft cap this now. Stormbox of Elgoloth, reduce damage scaling with ultimate ranks, increase lightning scaling at damage scaling at ultimate ranks for Storm Spread. Okay, so what I said up before about like Stormbox buffs is probably gonna be about the same with the nerfs here. Like, will stay about the same with the nerfs here, and this is gonna be buffed as well, just like these two for Gunslingers. Seems good. I mean, Reap Spirit also didn't really get nerfed because this got buffed. Oh yeah, and Bloodfiend can like tank more now. Yeah, so overall I like this patch a lot. So we will have better Gunslinger Inquisitor, better Ignafar Inquisitor, much better Horn of Gander. This is gonna be so good now, holy shit. Better Shaman, better Primal Strike, better Pet Shaman, much better Arcanist overall. Demo, like just Canister Bomb change and that's it. I mean, that's a little bit underwhelming. After the Arcanist buffs, probably Demo is gonna be the weakest class again. I'm not sure. Probably. Soldier still has the Blade Arc problem. They're trying to fix it. That's nice. And Occultist, yeah, Doombot gets a buff here. Other than that, Occultist is kind of fine. I mean, they should maybe take a look at Dreek's Evil Eye a little bit more. Like, Dreek's Evil Eye needs a buff, I would say. Nightblade, yeah, I mean, Nightblade doesn't really change. I need many changes, actually. It's pretty strong as it is, I would say. So yeah, overall I like this patch a lot, and I hope you like this, like, actually very long patch rundown video as well. Tell me your thoughts in the comments as well. Leave a like if you want to as well, and check out my stream, my builds. I'm streaming every Monday, Wednesday, and like a third day of the week. For example, this Friday, so tomorrow. So yeah. See you soon, hopefully. Bye bye.